All right, I'm going to explain why these kids that fight today get on my nerves. Let's talk.
Push the weight in our flex. Flex, the livest one in the six. With the runner boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga, boof. I'm an 88 pack nigga, boof. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker, change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. I saw this. Someone sent me this tweet. I'm not on Twitter, thank God. It's from Shakur Stevenson. He says, why nobody told me Marvin Hagler was this cold? Great job. Solid movement. Great on the inside and turn to a dog when it's time. You know, okay. This is my problem with the youth today. Now, I know when I was a youth, I had my elders telling me, oh, this is my problem with y'all. And I used to say, blah, 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 blah. But when you get a little older, those people that were trying to tell you something, it wasn't because they were hating on you. The term hating wasn't around when I was a youth. We would say things that I look back and it's silly. Like, oh, they're just jealous. Jealous of what? I've been there, they've done that. And the things that they would tell me to do was to my benefit. Now, there are some old heads walking around here that do hate on the youth, but that's because they didn't achieve anything in life. But when you're content and you're proud of what you've accomplished in life, and you actually see, to be an OG is a term of endearment. You want to see the youth do better than you. You also want to see them not make the same mistakes that you made. You want to see them be successful, because a win for them is a win for you, because in essence, they look towards you and for guidance. They look towards you for guidance. And if you can guide them through that path and they could do better than you, then that's an accomplishment. As an elder, we used to call it, y'all call it OG. So let's call it OG. As an OG, you look and you say, I'm proud because they followed in my path and they actually done better than me. It's not only a win for that young man, but it's a win for the community. I already made the mistakes. So I'm making sure this young king or this young queen doesn't make those mistakes. And one of the things the young kings and queens have to do is they have to become students of the game. You see, the reason why they mouth off so much is because they have no respect for the game. And I wish there was some way, shape, or form where, I mean, I don't know how they would do this. Education is key. You could actually be a savant in that ring. Michael Jordan wanted to play baseball when he was growing up. He didn't want to play basketball. Hey, what if he just said, I'm just going to play baseball, that's it? We'd have never had Michael Jordan. You know, he's a savant in the game. He changed the game. That's why he's the GOAT. Shakur Stevenson is a savant in that ring, I believe so. There's still some things that I need answered. And if all goes well in his career, hopefully the questions that I need to be answered, that I want to be answered, if he's that good, he won't be in a position where he have to answer those questions. I don't know what happens if he gets punched on his jaw flush. As good of a boxer as he is, can he go through his career without getting touched clean just once? I don't know. But what happens when he does get clipped? He's a marvelous boxer, but all boxers got to show the dog sometimes. Floyd Mayweather Jr., love him or hate him, he was a dog. Pernell Sweet P. Whitaker, master boxers, but there was a dog, because there was times that they were put in a blender and they had to bring that dog out. Sugar Ray Leonard, don't believe that pretty face and those perfect teeth. When you went upside his head and you ain't get him out of there, he turned into a dog. I don't know if Shakur has that in him. I don't know. We haven't seen it yet. No one has pushed him to that limit where he had to fight, because we know he could box, but can he fight? We don't know. We don't know. But this annoyed me, this tweet. How do you not know Marvin Hagler? Why is there not some sort of rule where once you start turning pro or something, the trainers sit you down in a room and say, you look, you need to watch this guy right here from the 80s and 70s. You need to watch this guy from the 50s. You know what I respect about Mike Tyson? I say a lot of things about his professional career that people are afraid to say. But any fight I talk about, I always ask my audience, and I'll ask you if you're finding this for the first time, where's the lie? I don't lie on these guys. I look at what they've done and I give my opinion based off of what they've done or haven't done when they had space and opportunity to get it done. Right? And I'm looking at this and I'm like, how does he not? I'm sure he heard of Marvin Hagler. I'm sure he's seen posters and pictures, but how do you not know who this man is? Especially since y'all both from Newark, New Jersey. Before Marvelous Marvin Hagler relocated to Brockton, Massachusetts, he was born in Newark. How do you not know? This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. How does he not know this? Who around him didn't sit him down and say, bro, you know what? This is a style you might be up against one day, and I need you to know how to defend against this. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Now, if I'm wrong on what I'm about to say, feel free to correct me. But he fought southpaw, but he was really a right-handed person. But he fought southpaw. This man was a dog and he was special. An absolute dog. What the hell? It's 2025. Shakur's been fighting for a very long time. He never bothered, especially, man, you kids with all of this stuff. You know what I had to do to watch boxing when I was coming up? Yeah, I'm going to sound like an old man right now. I come up from the time where Top Rank and Don King Promotions was going head to head. One person was on CBS and one person was on ABC out in New York. That was Channel 2 and Channel 7. I might have the CBS part wrong. It might have been NBC, which was Channel 4 out here. But I remember me and my dad every Saturday watching boxing. We'd have a TV on in the living room watching that commercial, ran to the bedroom to watch the other fights. It was boxing every Saturday. Wide world of sports. Great fights. I'm not going to tell you some of the classic gentlemen that was on there. Look it up. Today, y'all can find these things with a click of a button if you care. That's why some of these guys get in here and be like, yo, I'm the greatest. Or this one guy that I've been looking at, I've only been following boxing 5 years, but I've taken a liking to this guy, whether it be about his hair or he's from my, or his gear, his tattoos, his, anything, or he's from my same block or my cousin's block, or we used to go to school together. But you only been watching this person for 5 years and he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And you're saying, oh, he's doing things. He's the best in the world and he's the best to ever do it. And no one ever done anything that he's done. It's like, man, come on. You see, this is how they get y'all. The business of boxing has capitalized off of you grown men waving pom-poms and you don't know anything about boxing. I deal with it every day. I deal with it every day. Casuals get on panels and try and argue with you. They're admitted casuals, but when you're trying to explain to them, no, it's not that, it's this. They will argue with you because they're infatuated with one fighter. For example, Bob Arum, and see those casuals, they give leeway to people like Vasily Lomachenko for Bob Arum to say that I've never seen anything like this since Sugar Ray Leonard and Muhammad Ali. Hands down, this guy is the goods. I said, okay, he doesn't move like an average European fighter. He moves with some soul, but why are you saying that? Because who did he compare that European fighter to, that white European fighter to? Sugar Ray Leonard and Muhammad Ali. It was after his first pro fight. And what happened his second pro fight? What happened? He lost. Did he get it back in blood? Absolutely not. Nobody wanted to see the Salido fight but me and a handful of other Mexicans. It was like, wait a minute, Ali didn't lose his second pro fight. This is the guy. And Vasily was nice with it, but you lost your second pro fight and you ain't running back. So we found out his kryptonite right away. And I'm still not saying Vasily Lomachenko's trash. I'm saying that why does he get to just ease past that? He's going to ease past that Orlando Salido smoke. And he moved on. And then they tried to tell us that it didn't happen. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. See that? 14 wins, 0 losses, 10 knockouts. I said, I know. I was watching when he lost to Salido. I went to Box Rec. I said, oh, man, it's right there. It's not a no contest. It's nothing. He just lost that fight, never ran it back. And on ESPN, he's sitting down in the front row. Boom, this is what they do to us. They did this twice. Okay? Okay? This is what they try to do with history. And you black athletes, you young black fighters, you need to pay homage to the people that set the path for you and stop disrespecting them. Because it's ridiculous. And you guys should know better. But you don't. I don't know who's raising you. And I don't know how much you care about the game. You care about what you do. But everything you've done has been done already. And if you talk to some of the OGs, if they're still around, because Marvin Hagler is not around anymore, God rest his soul. But if you talk to some of the OGs, they'll tell you what to do and what not to do business-wise. You can learn a thing or two from these people. The fact that Shakur Stevenson didn't know anything about Marvin Hagler, it's a damn crime. He's a young man, but he's not that young. He never said, you see, I say a lot of things about Mike Tyson. Let me go back there for a minute. I say a lot of things about Mike Tyson that are truthful. And people get mad at me, but I don't lie on the guy. But you know what Mike Tyson was? He was a student of the game. I understand that Costamato had an extensive library. And these were reels, not VHS tapes. He had reels up there in the Catskills, and Mike would watch fights for hours. He was a student of the game. You can actually sit down with Mike Tyson and talk boxing. You can't do that with these kids. You know what you're going to talk about with these kids? You might be able to talk about the X's and O's in the ring, but past that, you'll find yourself talking about jewelry, cars, tattoos, grease in the hair, and all kinds of ridiculous stuff. At least I can say Mike Tyson was a student of the game. Guys in the 90s and the 80s, they were students. Some kids from the 2000s maybe, but once you got in the 2010s, these kids, they're coming out the Olympics looking for shoe deals. Yo, is Nike looking at me? Well, what's going on? Same thing with the NBA. Same thing with the NFL. They don't care about what happened to who put the pavement down for them to walk on. Now, you might be wondering why I got Canelo Alvarez over here. I'm going to show you why this is embarrassing. Pay attention.
Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Ray Robinson, Mayweather, and Hagler.
Don't get mad at me. I ain't say it.
All right. That's Canelo Alvarez, Hall of Fame fighter. I have some gripes with him too, but he's going to the Hall of Fame. He did some good things. He did some things that I don't co-sign, the clenbuterol, and he ducked Benavidez. But he's still going to the Hall of Fame. He's still going to be written down as one of the all-time greats. He's one of the highest grossing boxers today. Him. And through all of that, this Mexican man, his 5 favorite fighters, one of them are the ones that he fought and lost to. But Hagler's on his list. Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather, Marvin Hagler. Those are his top 5 all time. Shakur doesn't even know who Marvin Hagler was. He's saying, why nobody told me Marvin was this cold? What do you mean? No, you know what? Let me question the people that are around him. Y'all didn't sit this kid down and say, man, you got to watch Sweet Pea Whitaker. You got to watch Marvelous Marvin Hagler. You know what the 4 kings were? You know who that for? It was actually 5. Wilfredo Benitez, but I ain't going to go there. Do you know why we call them the 4 kings? Because they all fought each other. This thing of the 4 kings in this era, there is no 4 kings. There's one king. His name was Devin the Dream Haney. You know why? Because he was willing to fight Shakur and Tank and Tio and Ryan and get robbed. But Allah's a perfect planner. And he got found out Ryan was never a king. But Hearns, Ray Leonard, Duran, Hagler, at some point they all fought each other. That's why they were the kings. These kids are posturing for money. Devin Haney leaving 135 on the way out. Him and Bill had brunch. Remember he had brunch with Bob Arum? Trying to get that one more fight, trying to re-sign and get that one more fight for Shakur, draining himself for 135. As per Shakur, that's what he said. He's going to be drained. Remember that? Remember he sent the bottle service over there, signed the contract. I said, what's going on here? So when they actively pursued the fight, what did this kid say? I know my worth. So he ducks the drained Devin Haney. What did he duck? He ducked his first time on pay-per-view. He ducked his highest payday. He ducked Devin being drained and a shot at Undisputed in one fight. And I'm not going to front. That's a fight. I didn't like that fight for Devin. But that's a fight that Shakur possibly could have won. He said, no, I know my worth. And that's the difference between him and guys like Devin and Bud Crawford and Errol Spence and Deontay Wilder. The money's going to come. I'm pursuing greatness and the money's going to come. Now, how is it that this guy could say no to a drained Devin Haney? But Devin Haney drained, flew his behind over to Australia 2 times, wants to win Undisputed and wants to defend it. I never heard Devin complain about money. But I did hear a lot of people assume that he wasn't making any, which was a lie. The accolades came later. He earned it. So what are we talking about here? You know your worth, Shakur? That was a poor move. And then you get in there and fight with Edwin De Los Santos. Was it for no belts? In a stinker of a fight? Now, I didn't say it was trash. I said it was Edwin's responsibilities to stop you from moving around the ring. He couldn't do it. But everybody else ripped you for it. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? And now I got to hear this young man talk about, why y'all ain't tell me Marvin Hagler was this cold? Great jab, solid movement. Wait, you didn't know that? And he's from your city? You didn't know that? How do you not know? How does Marvin Hagler not have a statue in Newark? That's something maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there is. I don't know. But come on, man. How does Shakur not know that? And people who've been around Shakur, y'all never sat him down and told him, the legend, yo, you know what city, you know who was born here? One of the GOATs. But you know who understands greatness? Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is a bit of a student of the game from the old school and the new. He knew how to avoid fights while maintaining a goddamn legacy with his fans, enabling him and pleasing those people because they line his pockets. He pimped that. Got that from Floyd, didn't he? Got that from Floyd. No boxing, no life, right? Hard work, dedication, right? Can I say the same for Shakur? Shakur is always in shape. Wait a minute. I know that man missed weight. He missed weight, didn't he? Think about it. Look, man. This is disgusting. It's a bit deflating. And he's not the only one. A lot of these kids, they get in this ring and they're doing stuff and, you know, they don't pay homage to the people that paved the way for them. And they're doing things in there and they're like, you know, I'm the first to do this. I'm the first to do that. And it's like, no, you haven't, man. You're not. You're not the first one to do anything. This is a bit disrespectful, but at the same time, you know, I got to pardon some of these kids' ignorance. This is just ignorant. What do you mean? You actually said this out loud? What I tell you about these kids saying the quiet part out loud? He wasn't supposed to say this out loud. And again, the OGs around him, y'all never sat him down and give him an education. There should be some days you come to the gym and just, you know, pull up YouTube and say, man, sit down and watch this. I want you to watch this. I'm going to tell you why this guy's important. I'm going to tell you why this fight's important. I'm going to tell you this moment in history is important. Because guys like Canelo understand that. That's why his 5 top fighters of all time, all black, not one Mexican. That's why they were calling him Cal Negro for a while. Ain't that funny? Cal Negro. He ain't say Chavez. No Mexican fight. Top 5 all time were all black. All right. But Shakur doesn't even know who one of the most famous black fighters in the world is, and they so happen to be from his city. I ain't gonna drag this on, man. This is disgusting. Good luck to Shakur versus Teofimo. I'm rooting for you, but young man, if you drop this ball, I'm not attached to this fight, but I'll have some stuff to say, which will be what I saw, whatever happens. But this right here is further proof why these kids aggravate me to no end. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Bronx on deck.
Move!